BS3 Network.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fourcast with myself, A-Trap, Wilkes, and Doc. It is the two cast tonight. Wilkes won't be able to make it. He's got a errand to run. So it'll be me and A-Trap tonight as we review episode 2 of Evolution of the Black Quarterback. And so we'll get into that tonight. Sorry for the late start. Normally we are pretty punctual, but A-Trap had some tasks to attend to. And so we're definitely back, though, ready for another great episode. Looking forward to your input. This is out right now on Amazon. It's 3 episodes. It's a pretty easy watch. It's also informative. If you're a sports fan, if you're an NFL fan, if you're a fan of any type of sport, you definitely want to watch this, and it really dives into a lot. So, hey, Trap, man, good to see you.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Same to you. How was your break? Excuse me.
I didn't get one, so it was not a break. I didn't get a break, so
you was pretty much working, huh?
Nah, I was working. Pretty much.
I
was working. I was out there hot, singing the hip hop hot. That's all. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy, man. But I mean, you can't live off bread and meat. If you don't work, you don't eat.
Right. Exactly. All right, so Evolution of the Black Quarterback, episode 2. In this episode, Michael Vick is the one hosting it, doing the interviews and visiting different quarterbacks. So this one, Vick explores Black quarterbacks, including Hall of Famers Warren Moon. He also talks to other quarterbacks that are not Black, Steve Young, Josh Allen, and also Charlie Ward, which is, doesn't get talked about enough. Charlie Ward being a two-sport athlete and picking the sport he didn't win the Heisman in and going to play basketball, to me was one hell of an athlete. So shout out to Charlie Ward and a lot of the interviews that was done in this one. So the first one kicks off with Warren Moon, which we kind of talked about him, a legend, in his own right. He was one of those that had to go either change position or he had to go to Canada. So he went the route of the CFL and was balling there. Now I don't remember that. That was a little bit before my time. But talk about Warren Moon, and also I didn't know he played at a JUCO and then went to Washington. So I learned quite a bit about Warren Moon throughout this documentary.
Well, Warren Moon is a product of his environment. At the end of the day, the United States environment was fully charged racial. What we tend to forget is history. Just to put it simple, history.
Yeah.
We don't pay enough attention to history. Warren Moon, think about this. Warren Moon left college in 1978, 79, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 years after Dr. King was murdered.
Yeah.
That's only 10 years. We always go, well, in the 80s, they were still tripping. Well, it's only 10 years after this whole movement to stop, won't y'all stop tripping movement. We call it, we affectionately call it the civil rights movement, but it's the y'all still tripping movement.
Yeah.
And so, whereas racial discrimination is the order of the day, if we stop allowing people to tell us that this discrimination thing, this hate thing, this denigration thing It's so long ago. It was the civil rights era. No, it was 2 years before you were born, Brian.
Right.
That's what it was. It was 2 years before you was born. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, your pops was a part of the movement. Your mom was a part of the movement. So it's not shocking that racial tensions are still extremely high because we're at the back door of this thing. And that's the part. Look, man, I know this has nothing to do with the documentary, but it has everything to do with the documentary. I recently started a ancestry.com account.
Yeah.
Came across, ready for this? My mother's dad's sister, my grand aunt or aunt of my grandfather, sister of my grandfather.
Yeah.
I remember my Aunt Hazel. My Aunt Hazel died around like 82, 83-ish. Now, remember, it was 1983, so this is right around the time you were born. I'm coming of age. I'm entering puberty. I'm entering 8th grade. She died around that time. I remember her husband. We used to call him Uncle Dry, like dry skin.
Yeah.
Because he was a smooth brother. Uncle Dry. Guess what I found out with Ancestry.com? Uncle Dry was an enslaved individual. So I've actually touched a formerly enslaved individual. I'm only 54 years old. So when we talk about it was so long ago, it wasn't so long ago. This is at our back door, and we need to stop saying that and stop acting as if, stop allowing people to dupe us into believing that this we need to get over it. No, we're talking about 3-4 generations, man.
Right. It's not long ago.
Right. So the fact that Warren Moon, back to the original point, the fact that Warren Moon was being discriminated against, come on, man. This is right around the time the dude sat on national television and literally said, Black people are not smart enough to be general managers and managers in Major League Baseball. So why wouldn't the NFL still be racist? The only reason the NFL isn't ridiculously racist right now is because there's so much money on the table.
Right.
I'm gonna talk about
you're talking about billions and billions of dollars. Like
that's the only reason, man.
They chose to be that way now. The NFL would be whack. No one would be watching the NFL.
Yeah. Right, it will fold. So, come on, man. It's just as the country is just as racist as it's always been, but it's just so much money. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on the show. I didn't do today. Sorry to my listeners. I'm talking about it tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about the fact that the only reason people change in this country is because you affect their bread. The Revolutionary War was affecting England's money. The Civil War was affecting the money in the South. The Civil Rights Movement was affecting the money throughout the country. Black people had started, as we say in Chicago, they had started hitting licks. So if you pass around enough of them licks, slow down. Wait a minute.
Right.
Here we are.
Let's reconsider. Let's hear what you got to say. When you start hitting the pockets, that's what and that goes with. That's perfect with the NFL. A lot of these teams, they're garbage for a long period of time. You look at the Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins. During that time that they had Snyder as their owner, they had a lot of rocky situations, a lot of rocky roads, and eventually, he slipped up, and they got him out of there. Now you look at him with a black quarterback with Jaden Daniels, who's playing like crazy. Got a new coach in there, and you see how the things have changed. Now they're not. I'm not gonna say they're great, but you look at the excitement with the fan base and with the players and all of that, and that's exactly what these quarterbacks. When we talk about evolution of the black quarterback, that's what they're able to do. Vick was a prime example that they were talking about when he came to Atlanta. It was Tyson or Todd Chandler. When he came to Atlanta, that was a perfect mix. That was right during that time, the 2000s. That was right around that time. Lil Jon and the East Side Boys was doing their thing. Atlanta music was booming, and he came in at a perfect time and really changed the NFL forever.
See, okay. So I'm glad we talked about this.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to rewrite history, but again, I want to expand history because that's 40-year-old Ben history, right? And this is when it took off.
Right.
But Atlanta has been the jam my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, Atlanta was the joint. Look, okay, one of the greatest musicians in the history of the world. He is overlooked. He is one of the most overlooked musicians. Like Prince Rogers Nelson, he played all the instruments. He wrote all the songs. He was writing for other people, producing other people. Curtis Mayfield. Curtis Mayfield was a political activist through his voice and his lyrics, right?
Yeah.
When he got sick in Chicago, where did he go? Atlanta.
Really? Okay.
Atlanta has been the joint. But see, again, I've had the historical privilege of looking at the world, watching evolution in the world. I was born at a perfect time if you're paying attention. You know, like I'm like, I got that old man purview because I'm watching evolution as it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, I was born 1970. I don't remember a lot of the 70s, but I remember the 70s somewhat. I remember the music. I remember the activism. I remember the cohesiveness that was starting to develop in the world. You know, it wasn't always a racial separate thing. It was people were trying to come together. And then they dropped that poison bomb on America called crack cocaine, right? But 40 years ago, I was making what some can consider the greatest transition in a young person's life, elementary school to high school. I've come from, I'm just a kid. You know, this is almost like a first stage of adulthood because you're the big man on campus at William E. Gladstone Elementary, and then you go to Westerhouse and you're the shortest guy there. You're a big dude at the elementary school, and you the shortest guy in the school.
Right.
So, but that's when they start introducing computers. I remember the computer. Miss Ethel Adams, my 8th grade teacher, brought her computer. It was a Commodore Vick 20 to this class. And it was literally just a keyboard. And you connected it to a monitor, and she taught us how to run things. And it was like, oh my God. And 40 years later, man, me and you, look at the technology we're dealing with now. This is literally out of the Jetsons.
Yeah, really. When you think about it, when you think about StreamYard alone, you have basically one platform that takes you to up to 8 different ones through a camera, and anybody in the world can see it. Yeah, you're right. This is next level, next age. This is the stuff that we talked about and thought could happen. Video call.
And this is my age. When I was 14, this was, man, if they'd have told me one day I'll be talking to my man who lives in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
And I'm in Chicago, and we're looking at each other while people all around the world are looking at us.
Right.
I'd be like, man, shut up. I remember Miss Adams talking about, she didn't even use the terminology download. My nephew is using the phone to make this, I'm like, what? Like that was so foreign. And now that's primitive.
Yeah.
The reason I brought that up is this. When I'm introduced to computers and, the transition to the computer age. Then when I left high school in 88, I'm introduced to news. The slogans in Chicago for news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News, ABC. Channel 7 Eyewitness News, 4:30, 6, and 10. And then WGN, which is home base here in Chicago, they was like, hey, they knew they could get 4:36 and 10 slot, so they start having the 9 o'clock news.
Right.
And those were the only 4 times you would get. Before that, you would only get news at that time, 4:36 and 10 on CBS, ABC, NBC, and then the 9 o'clock news on Channel 9. If you don't want to watch that, if 10 is too late for you, we coming in at 9. And that was it. 4 news options. And then you watch Ted Koppel on ABC World News Tonight, right?
Right.
I leave high school, and the whole world is laughing at this cable network that's telling us they're going to have 24-hour news. And they were like, what kind of foolishness is that?
All right, that's not going to work.
Right, that's not going to work.
TV goes off at a certain time.
Right. TV used to go. Me and my son BJ, shout out to B. We were just I say, BJ, TV used to go off, man. He was like, what you mean? It's like, bruh, if you stayed up late enough, TV was not on. You had to turn on your radio.
Right.
And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, close your eyes. He's like, I said, that's what TV look like at around 2 o'clock.
When it go off, yeah.
So we thinking, so when the world's vision expands, we've been duped into believing that that's when people started, and they didn't. They've been doing this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Atlanta, DC was called Chocolate City. Atlanta was the joint. It was some city in Texas that we used to go. They used to go kick it at super hard on the border. I never went, but that was that was me and my crew. That was our next excursion. Like, yeah. I think it was Galveston. Is that where beach is?
The beach, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the next joint to go to. It was like, we would. Hey, I wish our man Craig was on, because he'll get on here and tell you, he said, man, nobody kicked it like me. Like, what? I wouldn't take vacations. So when it was we kicking it, I'm good. And we were there. Yeah. Martha's Vineyard. So it's just, which is secretly black as hell.
I'm surprised you said that.
It's black as hell. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want people to, we look at tunnel vision because that's our vision.
That's what we've experienced.
That's what we've experienced. So yeah, man. So the whole that Michael Vick bust Atlanta wide open. Michael Vick did to Atlanta what AI did to Philadelphia 4 years before.
Nice. Yeah. The swag,
your left hand.
Right. Yeah. the colliding with the music. I mean, what he did in the community as well. People don't talk about that part a lot.
Yeah,
he was very active in the community.
He was touching.
What's up, Jungle Brother in the building? Thank you for tuning in.
Look at old Warren. Thank you, Warren. Oh, that's what I'll call him, Jungle Brother.
Warren. But like we've been saying, man, Vick was the perfect person to do this. I don't think you could have really picked a better person because he's kind of he's not the old regime and he's not really the new era, so he's kind of in between. And I think he's able to, talk to a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta laugh at that. You gotta laugh at that, John.
Hey, but you know what? Hey, how about this? I'm gonna take you a flash in the past. He is literally LONS, the leader of the new school.
Yeah. I agree.
He was literally that. He was that.
I agree.
He was amazing, man.
Yeah. So they did touch on Randall Cunningham, first black quarterback to start in the Pro Bowl, which I thought it would have been somebody before him, but scramble like Randall with his, man. How many lines did Jay-Z have?
Man, I'm telling you, man, me and Jay-Z 9 months older than me. And when you are our age, Randall Cunningham was our Vick.
Yeah, I agree with that. Lamar Jackson leads the league in passing. Shout out to him, man. Another one of those, again, as we talk about black quarterbacks, and I would love for them to sit down with him. I don't know if they do it in episode 3, but I feel like he would be great to sit down with because I would love to hear some of his influences, which I think he's mentioned Vick, I believe, but love to hear some of his influences. But yeah, he's one hell of a quarterback, and he was one of those again. And so this is as we talk about how not far removed these things are. Bill Polian was told him or told ESPN, and no, you should switch positions. So even this is not far removed. We're still seeing this to this day. This is not like this is so long ago that these guys aren't being convinced or telling them to switch positions, which they're athletic, they can do it, but that's not the position they want to play. And that's the route that Warren Moon chose. Like, okay, you telling me I can play in the NFL, but I got to switch positions, and that's not what I want to do. And so he ended up going to Canada, won 5 championships in the CFL, so was balling. And then all the people started calling, and people were vying for his talents and wanting to sign him, and he ended up going to the Houston Oilers. So he got that opportunity. And obviously, he probably would have wanted it sooner, but it's nothing better than the time and the present. So,
question for you on that, and I would like to hear Warren's opinion as well, or see his opinion. Would you have taken the money? Would you have come to the NFL? And I already know
if I was Warren Moon.
We looking at tremendous hindsight, and I already have a bias, and I explain it to you once you tell me.
Yeah.
If
you saying if I was Warren Moon.
If you were Warren Moon, would you have said, "Okay, I'll come check it out," or would you have said, "Screw y'all,
man"? I can be stubborn sometimes, so I probably would have went to CFL because that's the position I want to play.
No. You misunderstand my question. Would you have gone to the CFL, won 5 championships, and then when the NFL said, "Yo,"
yeah, I would have because it's Canada. I mean, I think I would have, wanted to come back to whatever city end up signing me, and because also you got to think your family is your family. I don't even know if CFL was on TV then. If it was probably on TV in Canada. Yeah. So you got to think you want your family to be able to come see you. You want your, want your boys to come see you. So yeah, I would have. Okay. Yeah, I would have came.
I would have went along with your initial response. No. The reason I would have said no is because I am looking at this in history. I'm looking at this, and history showed me my favorite running back in the history of the league, Marcus Allen. His brother, Damian Allen, is second to Warren Moon in championships in the CFL. And when he went up there, because they ignored him, he said, "No, I'm cool." And it's easy for me to say it now, but I would have done it that way as well, simply because how am I good enough now? I got better due to experience, but my arm didn't get stronger. I didn't get more accurate. I didn't get smarter. I got smarter in the game because, repetition will enhance your abilities. But I wouldn't have come back. And I'm looking at Damian Allen saying, "Yeah, see, I would have did that." And I'm saying that up front. I have a bias.
Yeah.
But I'm anybody who ever listens to the show or anybody who pays attention to one of my programs, I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am what y'all call me? What's the other word? Not revolutionary. Militant. Yeah. I am that. And I embrace it. And you know what? If I'm not good enough today, I ain't gonna be good enough tomorrow. I ain't never gonna be good enough, because guess what? Damian Allen is a multimillionaire today. Does he have as much money as Warren Moon? Maybe not. But you know what? If Warren Moon made $45 million in his career and Damian Allen made 23 or 28 million or even $30 million in his career, guess what? Everything you can go get, Warren, I can go get.
Yeah.
It ain't a whole lot you can do that I can't do. And guess what? I can go to the grocery store. Don't nobody know me. My wife, she knows who I am. My children know I'm the man. In San Diego, because I think he moved back to San Diego. He just retired like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, 2007. So he played from 1985 to 2007. 4 championships.
4 championships. Wow. Yeah. And look at all that hardware he got. MVPs, Pro Bowls. So I think that's the problem. And I say that about basketball a lot as well. I personally believe I should have been a coach, because I enjoy the game that much. But I personally believe we need to start preparing our young people and saying, "Hey, do you want to be a professional athlete, or do you want to be an NFL and NBA?"
Yeah.
And
I think Yeah, I think the NBA is a little different, or basketball is a little different because it is a true international sport. So you could play, hell, you could play in uh, Saudi Arabia, you could play in Italy. I mean, there's so many leagues and there's so many tiers of leagues that you could really make a great career. You don't have to step foot in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the allure of the big sport. It's the of the big three. I think that people that's their ultimate dream. But you could do well, not even stepping foot in the NBA or the NFL
or MLB. I mean, but I think
yeah.
I don't know what the salaries look like in the CFL, but if put like this, I'm the man at pick a school, Notre Dame, but I know I'm not, or I think I'm the man, but when I get to the league, I'm not there.
Yeah.
If CFL calling me, I'm going up there and killing. And then Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, he said when he got to the CFL, he thought it was going down. He was like, I'm finna run these clowns. And he got up there. He said, man, them clowns up there balling.
Yeah.
He said he was asking himself, why are you not up there? Which, again, leads me to the question, just like Warren Moon, I'm not coming back. Because, again, with the show, and that's rebellious H-Rap, that's renegade H-Rap, that's militant H-Rap, whatever honorific you want to put on me, because I'm using those as honorifics, just like doctor. But whatever honorific you put on me, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Because just imagine, Ben, you was at Morehouse. You was at the house. So if you are the best D tackle at Morehouse, but because you're 6'1", 280, you are literally a mirror of my man Aaron Donald. They overlook you and you come from Morehouse. But what happens if you go up there, up top, and kill it?
Yeah.
You the man.
Right. Let me get to some comments here. Wanga, thank you for tuning in. Wellness with Wanga. Check out his channel. While you are going through the comments. Also, we got Cam Ward and Shador Sanders dominating all the college football awards this year. Yeah, Shador is going to be top 10, maybe even be top 5. He won.
He won it. He already got the United Award. He already got the JU.
Yeah, what's up, CJ? Thank you for tuning in. He said, what that nigga say on that song, For the Love of Money? Yeah. People will do anything.
Man, I wish I would have been focused enough to be there. I took my behind up north. Think about this, man. Larry Zonka went north.
Yeah, CJ. Yeah, Morehouse. And A-Trap was at Morris Brown. Right down the road. So, yeah, man. HBCU.
The Wolverines.
Yeah.
One of the few HBCUs named Dr.
So we were talking about CFL salaries. So this is updated November 6th of this year. So the highest paid is Nathan Rourke of the BC Lions, $600,000. That says total compensation. So I'm assuming, so that's basically per year. Number 2 is Chad Kelly at $444,000. You keep going down. Number 10 is at 206. So yeah, it's not the same amount, but you obviously are in a higher pay bracket.
I mean,
the average person.
And look, that's dollars. You do understand our dollars are like 3 to 1 up there. Yeah. Because like me and the crew used to, like I told you, we used to be on the kick all the time. It was nothing for us to wake up one morning and be like, yo, Wednesday? Yeah. And we go up there. Then they give you that funny looking money back. Give them $5 bill, they give you that funny looking money back. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, just give me another bit, man. I want this money. So I mean, I don't know, man. But see, and again, okay, see, again, this is one of those things that conversations like this really turn me on. Larry Zonka and those guys went up there in the 70s. Tamarick Vanover out of Florida State. You know, even before Tamarick, Rocket Ishmael went up there.
Yep.
It's just like the CFL. I mean, not CFL, the USFL.
Yeah.
Herschel Walker was the hottest running back on earth. And he said, forget the NFL, and went up to the USFL. That's how you know your boy, the president-elect, ruined the league, goofball. Yeah. Reggie White went to the USFL. The aforementioned last week, what's his name? Doug Williams.
Right.
Jim Kelly. Some of your favorite players in the league started off at the USFL.
Right.
It's just a matter of making the move. Being brave enough to make the move.
Yeah. Because, you know, I think Deion said this, or somebody said this, no matter, the people will find you, really, no matter where you are. If you are talented, if you are lighting it up, if you think about a lot of players during that time, you think about Walter Payton, you think about Jerry Rice, at HBCUs, and these scouts knew where to go. So it wasn't like maybe we need to figure out where we're gonna go. They knew where to go because they knew where the talent was. And so people will find you if you are talented. And if you look at some of the like top players in CFL history, Doug Flutie is up here at number 1. George Reed.
Doug Flutie number 1.
Yeah. Now this is a list. What is this? Wikipedia list. So I don't know.
Yeah. He must put. You know, you can change Wikipedia. So
yeah, I know anybody can do that. Yeah.
You must be Doug Flutie must be in there. I'm the best. What's in the words of the great Chad Ochocinco, child plea.
But George Reed, which I have not heard of this name, but he's from Mississippi. He went to Washington State, played running back. He's number 2 on the list. And a black guy. So, you know,
what's Damian and Warren rank?
So Warren is 5. Damian, I thought he would have been higher. He's 14. Thought he would have been higher than that. But yeah, there's a ton of names on this list. You know, some of them we know, some of them we don't know. But yeah, I mean that really just again shows you that there's multiple ways to get to where you want to go. Warren took one route, Tony Dungy took a different route, and it just depends on what you feel best. And Warren wanted to, like you said in this, I mean, I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to show what I have and not diminish my position or my talent just to get in the NFL. So yeah, I commend him. You know, we fast forward to now, and if you're a football fan, you know Warren Moon. If you don't know Warren Moon, you may just be too young, or you may not be a fan. But
you might be.
You might be Rush Limbaugh or somebody.
No, you might be.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. Hey man, the Steve Young interview, which we touched on it a little bit. Man, Steve Young was definitely. I was a 49ers fan growing up, so Steve Young was definitely one of my favorite players. That lefty, and again, him and Vick, you know, talking to each other, I felt like was great. And Steve Young just had that scramble type play. He had that ability. I wouldn't say he's super fast, but he was agile. He was able to scramble. And then you compare him and Montana, who was like stand in the pocket, Montana. And, you know, that ended up, you know, separating. And funny story, I was like, I was a kid and I'm like, so why? I was asking my dad, why did he end up going to the Chiefs? And I was like, well, you know, it was a contract situation. I was like, well, they could just pay him more money. You know, as a kid, you just think just pay him more money. It's Joe Montana. But I think that was during the days where they they had two good quarterbacks. Most teams did because something happened and you got a guy in the wing already waiting. So when that guy leaves or when that guy retires or whatever, you have somebody there. And obviously Steve Young's one of the greats.
I confess that at one point I had a Steve Young bias, even though he left-handed. I'm still gonna go down in history saying that Steve Young is a tad bit overrated.
Okay.
But but I have grown to respect Steve Young's ability. But the funny thing is this. The reason I was kind of funny style with Steve Young is the same reason they tripping. I was pissed off at Steve Young because of the way the media portrays other people. It's amazing how Lamar Jackson just can't win the big one, but Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback ever.
Right.
He top 3, but this dude 500. How does he get there? You know what I mean?
Right.
So so I held that against Steve. So I need to stop doing that because at one point, what he is trash. I don't care what nobody says. Brett Favre's trash. That's it.
Probably he's like what top 5 in picks and touchdowns all time.
Top 2 in picks, or he might be number 1. He might be number 1. So,
and they always say, "Oh, he's a gunslinger."
Yeah, he's a
the
gunslinger.
Dude was inconsistent. That's what.
Jameis Winston is an F up.
Right. Hey, who will be a pastor one day? Jameis Winston will be a pastor, or a motivational speaker, one or the other, man. Because that dude can motivate.
Man. He my guy. I am the biggest Jameis Winston fan. J-Bo, my man. But and then J-Bo trying to get that next contract. I'm rocking with him.
He working it, man.
He working his numbers.
He working it.
I love J-Bo, but I'm watching him on TV like, come on, man. You like you like the worst imitation of Prime ever.
Yeah, man. He a talker. Like, if you put a microphone in front of him, he gonna say something. If he mic'd up that week, they're about to be playing that back on NFL films, on NFL Network every week. But he takes the best of his opportunities. I'll tell you that. When he gets a shot,
if he's smart, he'll pack up his bags and move to Kansas City. It ain't nobody working quarterbacks better than that guy.
Exactly. I agree with that. And you may get a ring. Now, I don't even know who's the backup in Kansas City right now.
If you want to be.
I was about to say the dude not sniffing the field unless it's a blowout.
Yeah.
No, it was Chad Henne for a minute. Chad Henne probably got.
I think it's what's the dude's name? Used to play for the formerly known as the Scans. Heineke or Heineken.
Yeah, Heineke.
Maybe.
Let me see.
Being a Raider fan, I can't.
It's Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. I thought this dude wasn't even in the league anymore.
Carson Wentz is a stain too. He's a stain. Yeah, I said it. He's a stain.
Yeah. He man. The way that went down in Philly, and Foles ended up winning that Super Bowl.
And see, man, that's what I'm saying, man. Nah, let's not go back to the good quarterbacks, man.
Yeah.
Steve Young, Michael Vick was a wonderful situation. Yeah. And it's good to see. You know what? These things. This is why I believe documentaries like this is why I believe ESPN, Fox, and all these major networks are pissed because, see, Michael Vick can tell you how to be a quarterback. Steve Young can tell you how to be a scrambling quarterback. Even though whack-ass Bob Avellini here in Chicago can tell you about how to be a scrambling quarterback. No matter how intelligent Stephen A. Smith is, allegedly, try to be nice. He can't relate.
Right.
They cannot relate. Stephen A. and Skip and Nick Wright and Mike Wilbon and all those guys, They can watch all the football they want. But a cat like me, I have the advantage over them.
Yeah, because you actually played the game.
I ain't played quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, I know what it looks like when a dude is 6'2". I'm 5'10", 6'2", is running at me faster than me. I know how to get him his way enough to make sure he gets sacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know push him, get in his way and make him go to his right, and he gonna run out of bounds.
Yeah.
You haven't done that, and you can't tell me about that. That's what made me go. That's when I started really respecting Steve Young. Like, man, I've been tripping for years.
Yeah. Another one of those is Colin Cowherd. I mean, I always got some hot takes, but never played.
Based on what?
Right. Just based on making headlines, really.
Right.
What it comes down to.
And that's why I really enjoyed this, man. And they say it's season 1, so I'm hoping it's going to be a season.
We got to. I think one of the best parts of this episode was that them talking about the 90s era of black quarterbacks, NCAA. When you got Charlie Ward, Cordell Stewart, Tommy Frazier. I mean, you name it, we was on there. If it was a primetime game, it was going to be a black quarterback that was going to be on there. And that 90s era was crazy. And I think that like one of the writers was saying that really kind of made it normal. They made it like it wasn't abnormal, or it wasn't an anomaly to see a black quarterback on the national stage on a big team. And yeah, we were everywhere. And I think obviously those players are going to end up going to the NFL. So it was really just a matter of time for them to jump from college to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, man, again, this is one of those things where exposure gets you everything.
Right.
Because they talked about the 90s, but they don't even bring up Jerry Rice's quarterback. They don't bring up this dude back at West Virginia named Major Harris. They don't bring up this cat at Notre Dame named
Tony Rice.
Tony Rice.
Yeah, they mentioned him briefly. Yeah.
But look, the greatest quarterback in the 80s, in my opinion, I'm biased, came out of Oklahoma. His name's Leo White. That man ran an option. He was Vick before Vick. No, I'm serious, man. Hey, while I'm talking, look him up at Oklahoma.
You said Leo Rice?
Jaleel Rice.
Jaleel Rice. Okay.
Right. Hold on.
Okay.
Just look up Oklahoma 1985 quarterback, and you will see something. You'll be like, wait a minute, man. And that's the thing that be tripping me out. Like, when you are old enough, like I said, I think I got the perfect seat for this, man, because I'm old enough to be an old man, and I'm young enough to have missed a ton. Jameel Holloway. That was his name.
Yeah.
I'm right, son. Jameel Holloway.
Yeah, I've heard people talking about him on radio here, but I don't know if I've ever seen. Let me pull it up right now.
Man, Holloway was that guy. That guy. He's that guy. Hey, man, the man had the holes. He had the wheels. It was insane. The 86 Oklahoma Sooners, man, that dude was insane. And just Jaleel Holloway, that was his name.
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm not gonna play any audio, so it doesn't.
Yeah, don't play no audio.
Yeah,
he's that guy. And it was Don McPherson out of Syracuse.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of Chris Lee at Florida.
Oh yeah.
Man, this dude was amazing, man. And he got in trouble. He was handing out that powder, baby.
and with the huge shoulder pads too.
Yeah. Look at that.
Gone. And running people over too. Him and Bosworth.
Him and Bonds, yeah, they won the national championship. Look at that! Look at that holes on that boy. Yeah,
man, he had to chase. Yeah, that wide receiver had to chase that one down too.
Look, correction. That's Keith Jackson, tight end.
Oh, Keith Jackson with
Philadelphia. Look at that threading of the needle. Get up off. And you see, that's the U he's shaking up like that.
Yeah, they falling all over each other. Yeah, man.
Jaleel Holloway, man. I'll call him Rice. Right. Jaleel Holloway. The man, but he ended up getting in trouble selling that powder. That man was on campus with a Corvette, man. He was on campus with a Corvette, man. And the man was the joint, man. But so that's what I'm saying. I'm old enough to remember a lot, and I'm young enough to miss the lot. And it's just that's what I'm saying, man. You know, Donald Trump ironically cheated us out of some great football.
Yeah. So what happened? What happened with the USFL?
Donald Trump, the USFL was on the come up, man. They were like the AFL. Or if you're not old enough, but and me either, for that matter. In '68, well, in the '60s, it was a league came along called the AFL, American Football League, and they got Joe Namath and a bunch of other people to come, right?
Right.
The USFL realized that the NFL, the dudes who ran the USFL, they realized that NFL were the big dogs. We're not going to knock them off. So what they did was, right after Super Bowl Sunday, the USFL started.
Yeah.
And fools were tuning in, man. Because, I mean, you had people like Reggie White, Jim Kelly, Charles Mann, Calvin Bryant, Steve Young, Doug
Steve Young was in the USFL?
He used to play for the LA Express.
Wow.
And, man, it was good football, man. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't no crap.
And they weren't trying to compete. They weren't trying to compete after the NFL. Yeah.
It was like, look, y'all got it. Y'all got the fall. We got the spring.
Right.
And they were on the come up. And then Donald Trump purchased, because this is the time when Donald Trump was the new mogul. You know, blah, 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 blah. He was Tesla buddy of his time. You know, he was coming up like on what or Bezos. He was the Bezos of his day.
Yeah.
And Trump bought the New Jersey Generals, signed Herschel Walker to this insane contract. Mistake number one, he heard it, the dudes who were on the league, and said, we can go to Sunday. We can go to Sunday in the fall. And it lasted one weekend. They was like, get your
you done lost your ever-loving
Bunny Rabbit force creature mind.
Yeah. Nah.
And it went down. I mean, dude, he cheated us because that was some damn good football, man.
Yeah.
And they were getting they wasn't getting the fifth string dude. They wasn't like let me see. Remember old boy Ike Austin ended up they won the Kardashians. He got the curse for the Cowboy. Yeah. They wasn't getting him. They were getting Dez.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, it was their opportunity.
Yeah.
And that was also probably during the time that the USFL was probably giving us more opportunities.
It was giving us more opportunities. And believe it or not, you're not going to, this is almost insane. This going back to that. Guess what else? Guess what their hook was? If you come here, you can dance if you score a touchdown.
you can celebrate.
They were making a big deal about that. Like, man, you dancing? And they was like, you can dance. And fools went there and was killing it, man. That's some good football, man. And Donald Trump cheated us, man. Could you imagine the NFL B starting up right after the NFL A go off?
Right. And a lot of organizations have tried it. The XFL is the new kind of era of that. Now I don't know how. I'm not watching it, so I'm sure people are watching it.
It's solid football. Obviously, I like football.
Yeah.
I like football. So
yeah, but they've been trying ever since. They've been trying ever since to just get people to watch. But I mean, there's been a ton of players that they mentioned in here. Doug Williams was there. and
Jim
just
Kelly, Steve Young.
Yeah.
You had a lot of guys that went there, and it was. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm not gonna pretend that it was better football. It wasn't, but it wasn't junior league football. No disrespect to HBCUs. It wasn't Ohio State, Michigan versus a Howard Morehouse. It wasn't that.
Right.
It was more Ohio State, Michigan versus ASU, Arizona.
Yeah.
It wasn't Texas. You know what?
Versus
it was more like Texas, Oklahoma versus LSU, Alabama.
Yeah. It was the
high level football.
Yeah. And I wonder too, how many was it still 53-man rosters in the NFL? Because I wonder
more people on the roster back then. They every time they gave up rights, the roster size got short. There used to be like 65 people on the football team. So
and then the CBA probably
negotiated.
It was like, okay, we have to keep it.
We got 65 men. At the end of the day, that fake salary cap and that fake all that nonsense. If it's 63 people, we got to pay 63 people. Let's take it down to 51. That's what that is. Because think about it, man. The salary cap international in any sport, the salary at this point in 2024, maybe I'll give you the credit in 2005. I give it up to that day. End of the season 2005, that was it.
Yeah.
But at this date and time, a salary cap is a slap in the face of anybody who has minimal intelligence. The reason I say this is this. I found out like 3 to 5 years ago, the National Football League, Yahoo, FanDuel, Yahoo, what is it?
Not
even those yet. No. Just I'm trying to think of a media outlet. Yahoo, Gmail, Bleacher Report, and all these media outlets that have ESPN.com, FoxNews.com. They use the NFL stats. They pay them for that, for the fantasy football leagues.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
They pay them. They pay the NFL to use their stats. Then you got the gambling sites are paying the NFL to use their numbers. Then you got YouTube paying the NFL to do their numbers. Then you got Amazon paying the NFL, NBC, ABC, CBS paying.
Yeah, and we're not talking about merchandise, because you got to have
the merchandise.
Yeah, you got to pay them for the license to be able to do that, or you get the generic.
You can't even do the generic unless you got somebody in the basement making a Bears jersey or a Cowboys jersey. So now you look at how many streams of revenue they got, and then they're gonna tell you, "Oh well, Jacksonville is a small market team." What? Last time we checked, y'all made $40 million. It's only 30 million. It's only 32 of y'all. That means that $8 million divided by 32. You better give me some go ahead on, Jack. Everybody get $1 billion right off the top.
Right.
And that was a few years ago that y'all made $35-40 million. What y'all making now?
Right.
Y'all ain't flying those guys overseas every year because it look cool. Because we want England. No, you want England to gamble. That's why homeboy who won MVP in the MLB. That's why he won MLB, NL MVP, because he hit 50 home runs, true indeed. He stole 50 bases, true indeed. But we want those people in Japan to bet on baseball.
Right.
That's why
we want their viewership and their money. Their money first. Yeah.
Joker's winning MVPs. Giannis Antetokounmpo's winning MVPs because y'all want those euro dollar flooding into the league. So don't miss me with this small market team. Yeah, it's only 19,000 people. It's only 80,000 people, only 75,000 people that can come to this game. Right. But how many people betting on it?
Right. And that's the next stage. Well, not even the next stage. It's the now stage.
It's the now.
Then it's really about to start getting legalized in more states. Like Texas should have already been, and that's kind of what Mark Cuban sold. Have you heard about all that? Mark Cuban sold to the Las Vegas kind of high rollers, if you
Yeah.
will, and they're about to make it legal. So
yeah. So
and then at the end of all these commercials, they're like, call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have problems. So,
if you messed
as
up,
the fine print.
So you just relieved yourself from all liability. So,
Right.
no, man. So again, man, the National Football League has been printing money since '68, since the merger, and now they got it on high. So miss me with that nonsense. Yeah. And that's why the black quarterback is more prevalent because even racist people, when it comes down to it, you want the person that's wearing the same t-shirt, sweatshirt, jersey, hat, drawers, underwear, socks, gloves to win.
Right.
And if Craig can't be the quarterback anymore, or Tyson can no longer be the quarterback, so we won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the most staunch conservative in the world, anti-DEI person, asking who you want on his football team, Lamar Jackson or that dude that's playing quarterback for the Cowboys right now.
Yeah. Or Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins or Lamar
Mr. Vanilla.
Right.
Correct.
Oh, DEI. Well, I know. Okay, let's not DEI the football leagues no more.
Right. See what happens.
Let's see if Trevor can play linebacker.
Trevor Long or somebody.
Right.
So they ended this episode with two interviews. One with Donovan McNabb, the other one with Deion. Obviously, Deion Sanders. He had to be in here somewhere. He played quarterback. What he said in high school, which I didn't know that. End up later on playing corner, and you know Deion. But is Donovan McNabb a Hall of Famer in your book?
Of course he is, man.
Yeah,
of course he is. And that's not my Chicago bias, even though it is woven into it. But of course he is. Donovan McNabb. Okay, let's just look at his resume. Donovan McNabb, when he left Philadelphia, he had the greatest interception to touchdown ratio in the history of the league. That means I threw way more touchdowns than interceptions.
Right. Which is the marker.
Which is the marker. I made multiple Pro Bowls. I made multiple All Pros. I made 5 straight NFC Championship games. And just go get a above casual football fan, and I'll name one, and I need you to name 2 more of his teammates on offense. Brian Westbrook, and I need you to name me 2 more of his offensive teammates.
Freddie Mitchell? Well, another guy named Freddie Mitchell on the team.
Fred X. Oh, boy. See, but you're an above average fan, just an average, you're an elite level fan.
I don't even know how I know that name. I don't even know how it came to mind.
I name a few. James Thrash.
Yeah.
Anybody in the audience know him? I mean, my cousin Christian used to call him James Trash. And I'm not gonna call them fools. I'm not gonna call them trash. They just were not high level guys.
Yeah,
and it's just
T.O. was probably the biggest name he had, and that was for what, a year, 2 years.
He was the biggest name,
Yeah,
and and everybody like I love it when people who are not big time McFly fans, they go, "Well, he choked in the Super Bowl. So did Dan Marino."
Yeah,
his playoff record is better than Dan Marino's. And then they go, "Are you trying to say he's better than Dan Marino?" No, I'm making a case for him to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because if you look at passing yard stats, which this is kind of one of those markers, he's ahead of Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly's a Hall of Famer. He's ahead of Steve Young. He's ahead of Troy Aikman. He's ahead of Kurt Warner. I mean, so ahead of Terry Bradshaw. I mean, so for that alone. And the amount of championship games that they went to, no, they didn't win the big one, but there's plenty of players in the Hall of Fame that have not won the Super Bowl.
And how about this? Let's start at the bottom of the list. What's the first person you named on that list? He was head of
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly played with Hall of Famer Andre Reed. Played with Hall of Famer James Lofton. Played with Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas.
Go to the next one.
Next one, Steve Young.
Steve Young played with should be Hall of Famer Ricky Waters. Played with Roger Craig. Played with Tom Rathman. Played with Jerry Rice. Played with all-pro wide receiver John Taylor and the dude who they're saying arguably the greatest football player ever, Jerry Rice. Go to the next one.
Troy Aikman.
Played with Hall of Famer Michael Irvin. Played with Hall of Famer all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith. Had one of the best offensive lines in the history of the league. And I'm a Troy fan. I'm Troy, my guy. Okay, go to the next
one. Kurt Warner.
Should be Hall of Famer or soon to be Hall of Famer, Torrey Big Game Holt.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce. Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
All Pro Isaiah Akeem and others that we, played and took the Super Bowl, took the to the Super Bowl. Cardinals to the Super Bowl. And I think Kurt Warner is rightfully in the Hall of Fame. Give me the next one.
So next one, you get into some of the older players. Terry Bradshaw, Ken Stabler.
Okay, look, Terry Bradshaw played with Hall of Famer. When he retired, number 3 all-time in rushing, Franco Harris, rest in peace. Lance Swan, Hall of Famer. John Stallworth, Hall of Fame. HBCU, John Stallworth.
Yeah, right.
Got to throw that in.
Yeah.
So, and Snake Stabler, Hall of Famer, Clifford Branch. So, and Fred Biletnikoff, Hall of Fame. So, and Ghost with the Post. I can't think of his name, but that's what they used to call it, Ghost to the Post. Yeah. So, now, name the All-Pro. Forget Hall of Fame. Name the All-Pros that McMahon played with. Exactly.
Yeah.
It'd
be hard to name.
See, Zach said, do you know?
I think he's joking.
I'm sure.
My Uncle Stan.
My Uncle Stan said in his new album. In New Auburn. Oh, I'm assuming he's saying Cam. I don't think Cam. If you talk about Cam, I don't think Cam choked in. Cam, I wouldn't call Cam a Hall of Famer. I think he should get honorable mention for the Hall of Fame. But again,
what happened to him was Von Miller. That's what happened.
Yeah, Von Miller and the cat came from Dallas, Ward.
Yeah, it was no stopping Von Miller that day.
And again, even if you could have slowed down Von Miller, okay, who was Cam thrown to? So
was Steve Smith on that team?
He was gone. No Steve Smith.
No.
You had my man from Ohio State, super fast.
Ted Ginn.
Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah, he was more of a, I don't know, he was more of a kick returner. I don't know if he really played him that much at wide receiver.
Yeah, but he was just the kind of guy who would blow the top off the defense. But Ted Ginn, he dropped him. So, it's easy to say things like that, but we have to look at things in their totality. I think when you're a Hall of Famer, you have an impact on the game. What do you impact the game with? Yeah. And making 5 NFC Championship games in a row with Fred X, James Thrash, what's my man, Deuce Staley, Brian Westbrook. Good players, man. They in the league. They played more than 5 years in the league, each one of them. But when I'm going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, I'm going up against the greatest show on turf. Yeah. You want me to win?
Yeah. The teams that they had to go through.
Yeah, the teams had to go through. Even when they lost to the Carolina Panthers, you had Musa Muhammad, you had Steve Smith. Come on, man. And you had a killer defense up against that. So it's a lot of guys, but it's just it's a numbers game, and it's a joke, man. I mean, the fact that
a lot of it is with the writers, who did they like, who was nice to them. Man. Like we gotta diversify that. We want to diversify something. Diversify this Hall of Fame voting in all sports. You need to have some players involved. You have some coaches involved, have some GMs involved. You can't just have writers. I still
You
don't
know
get
what? I
that.
would even keep it away from GMs because they have their own personal biases because they
True.
have situations to whereas players wouldn't sign with them because they were jerks. And I don't like if you put it in the hands, you need to get some quality people in the Hall of Fame conversation, like you said, diversified, because you got people still acting funny with Prime because he's not prim and proper. I'm not you.
Right.
I'm not you.
But you know who I am, and you know that I made a major contribution to the
Exactly.
game, changed the game. Like
they
who was really was the NFL really talking about corners before him? Was
That's
corner
not
really like a prime time position before him?
only reason it was for me is because for whatever reason, I liked Mel Blount when I was a kid. I don't know why I like 47. He was just the coolest looking dude on the field to me. And then when Mel Blount kind of, when the Steelers kind of tailed off, I became a Raider fan. And guess what? Mike Haynes and Lester Hayes. And then I started liking Everson Walls. Then I started liking Frank Minifield. And so I'm admittedly weird. So I'm an outliner. I'm an outlier because who was liking defense then? But Prime made the defense. Prime and LT made people pay attention to defense.
Yeah. And then you had Charles Woodson, then you had Champ Bailey, Dre Bly. I mean,
it goes on.
Corners.
Dale Carter, Kansas City.
Yeah.
It's just he was the man. I mean, and see, that's what I'm saying, man. People need look. There is a way to do everything, But I get sick of people because I don't do it the way you were brought up doing it.
Right.
It's wrong. And that's why
something's wrong.
And look, watch that, Ben. Look how that went full circle back to what we're talking about. The white stay in the pocket quarterback was the way. Right. And then you got the Fran Tarkentons, and then you got the Roger Staubachs. Right. Then you got then you had the Steve Youngs. People used to son Steve Young. They used to put Steve Young in goal line situations as a tailback at times.
Yeah.
Then you got Randall, and y'all still don't believe it. Believe like Joe Montana was a Joe Burrow athletic level person.
Yeah.
But he had to stand still. You know what I'm saying? You have to limp because y'all not used to this. Y'all don't know how to coach this. And that's the problems. And just like the fact that young man, Travis Hunter, he isn't doing it the way that y'all want him to do it. He's getting too much hype.
Yeah, he's doing it better than what y'all want him to do.
Exactly. Instead of just allowing it to be, they create all these tropes. Like, I'm gonna challenge you. You still do a sports show, so I'm gonna challenge you this. As long as you do your sports show, I need you to text me the day that you hear of a black quarterback being commended for his accuracy. I've never heard that. I've been paying attention to the draft.
I don't hear it. Yeah.
At least 36 years. And I've yet to hear. And then he's an accurate quarterback. And then you look over this Tyrone. What up, dog? It's like, that's the first thing that they say. He needs to work on his accuracy. I'm like, ain't no accuracy.
And it's the same guys. Like Mel Kiper. How long has Mel Kiper been doing this?
Dracula been doing this about 36 years.
Facts. I mean, the only Todd McShay is probably the only guy that's as far as on ESPN, which is the draft coverage.
Hey, you didn't hear about McShay. McShay. Hey, McShay took a Brian, ruined his career, man. It was this Rudy quarterback, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you the boy, you the boy, you the boy, you the boy." And then they drafted him high, and then they found out his family had slid McShay some bread.
Oh,
yeah, allegedly.
Got him.
But but yeah, it's a new. I think his name. He's on him. He does it. He's taking McShay's job. But it's just.
They got some other. And they need to start passing that around. Like Mel Kiper's another one of those guys.
Yeah.
Just because you watch a ton of film doesn't mean that guy will or will not be good.
Right. And this is why I enjoy coaches like Andy Reid, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, and people from their ilk. Because unlike most coaches throughout the history of the game, the Tuna, Jimmy Johnson, they are coaches.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are play callers with a clipboard. They're the head play caller. Because
they go down the list and
yeah. Because the coach in Dallas, he's another one. He's a play caller and he's not a coach. Because you can tell. Oh, for example, on this program and on our private conversations, remember I told you before the season even started, I say Eberflus needs to be fired. Remember I told you that? I said, hey man, that dude sucks. And I just being a former player, I'm watching Eberflus interact on Hard Knocks, first episode, and he was buddying up to the player. And I was like, nah, dog, it don't go like that. You don't put the player, you like, what up, dog? And then most coaches would be like, yo, Ben, we ain't had that nonsense this week, right? And you like, no, coach. And you know he just jugging at you, but he also, hey man, don't forget, like, hey, I watch you.
That up. Right.
And he out there, hey, we gonna give you a new nickname. Nick, what? No, man. Don't tell you.
Man. Hey, they was playing that up too much. I think they put too much pressure on Caleb. You trying to put this dude on the pedestal and ain't played it down yet. Why? He already have enough pressure as it is.
And, man, my cousin kept killing Caleb. We on the phone this week, and I wasn't even watching the game. And I was like, he was like this, and I'm listening to my cousin saying, "Now they gonna do this, they gonna do that." He's like, "Man, he needs to do this." I say, "He's a rookie. When he gonna start being a rookie?" I say, "Next year."
Yeah. When the season over with, come on, man.
Man, you got to have it, man, and that's why a lot of these black and white athletic quarterbacks don't make it, because I'm gonna draft you. To me, and I think most people would agree with me. I think everybody who knows football in the history of the world will agree with me. Most of these play callers, they have a system. They have the bin system. And we do this and this and this and this in the bin system. And that's how you do it. And I'm going to teach you how to be the bin quarterback. And Andy Reid and Kyle and Mike Shanahan and Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells, they go, oh, so you don't roll to the left well. Scrap all the to the left plays. Right. We won't be doing no to the left plays.
We're going to make it what works best for you.
Because we need to win. And that's the difference in coaching and calling plays.
Because if a prime example, Mahomes was not projected to go high. He was obviously slinging the ball around at Texas Tech because that's what they did under that coach name passed away. Kingsbury. But I mean,
Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator for Jaden Daniels.
Right, exactly. Which that's his role, man. Being a head coach, it's not you, bro. But he probably gonna get another shot this year. Anyway, partnering up with Andy Reid, which his list of quarterbacks is amazing. But that was the best partnership he could have had, because Andy Reid is I'm gonna work with what works best for you. I'm not gonna try to make you be something. And obviously now we see the success, and the rest is history.
I'm telling you, man, and that's why Lamar isn't as good as he. You know who would be great for Lamar Jackson, in my personal opinion? B.A., Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians is going to tell you, we're going to do it this way. And, because, hey, if you ain't chucking, you ain't trying. That's his motto.
Yeah.
You ain't chucking, you ain't trying. But B.A. is also, I also heard B.A. say the reason Ben Roethlisberger did so well his first year, he said, they told him, Hines Ward is right here. The tight end is right here. Or get to Jerome Bettis. Those are your only options. Don't read nothing. Hines, Miller, Bettis, or throw it away.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger won 11 straight games that season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop trying to make, hey, no, nothing. Give it to him, throw it to him, or throw it to him.
Yeah.
And I keep telling people, man, look at this. I come from a school of thought when it comes to football. Your tight end is your best friend as a rookie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you got somebody blowing the top off the look at the Bears. You got Moore blowing the top off the defense. You got Allen catching intermediate. You got Swift as a good running back, and the tight end got 3 catches last week. You see how much attention is diverted away from this dude? And then if you don't, oh man, our defense offensive line ain't that good. Well, you know what? They're not good at this, but everybody's good at this. So I'm moping people down.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And even experienced quarterbacks. I mean, the tight end is your best friend. That's your security blanket. That's the guy you can get the ball to real quick. And
Steve Young and that kid there, Novacek in Dallas. I mean, we can go chapter, book, and verse.
Yeah,
like Russ Francis with the 49ers, Clint Didier with the Washington Redskins. Then you had Todd Christensen with the Raiders. Then you had Emery Moorhead with the Bears. Then you had what's his name? Big old white guy, looked like Sylvester Stallone. Mark Bavaro with the Giants. Didier back with the Redskins, and so I mean, we walk through history and you see teams that win, they got a tight end that's gonna do it.
Hey, and that should be a whole nother series, evolution of the tight end. That would definitely be another 3-part.
And that'd be a 10-part series, man. I mean, you got
Yeah.
Ben Coates, you got Shannon, you got Tony Gonzalez, you got Gates, Kellen Winslow Sr. They wouldn't bring up Junior because he out here molesting elders.
Yeah, man.
Freak nasty.
But all right, so let's go ahead and round this thing out. Evolution of the Black Quarterback. Next week we will do episode 3. It says the conclusion of Michael Vick's trip through the history of Black quarterbacks. Showcases Patrick Mahomes, Cam Newton, Dak Prescott, Colin Kaepernick, and Jamie Foxx, aka Willie Beeman. So I'm looking forward to that. But any final thoughts on episode 2?
Episode 2 is another example of great reporting, great storytelling, and being able to tell a story from your point of view, not from an expert's point of view. And whoever put this together, Michael Vick and whoever put this together, thank you. It was awesome watching. I look forward to you enjoying episode 3 because I seen it.
Yeah. But I definitely like the college quarterback aspect of the 90s, that was kind of my era of watching college football. And also Marcus Vick, Michael Vick's brother, who I know he had some rocky moments, but he was really just as good as his brother, just didn't make it as far.
He threw with the wrong hand. He threw with the wrong arm, but he might have been actually a better quarterback than Vick.
Yeah.
Vick was a superstar. He was a better quarterback than I personally believe.
But looking forward to episode 3. So we'll be back next week. Thank you everybody for tuning in. What's coming up tomorrow on the End of the Bench?
Well, End of the Bench has been what I'm doing is I'm setting up situations too. I'm moving away from full length End of the Bench shows. I do 10 minutes a day, sometimes 15 minutes. Tomorrow will be about fishing. Teach a man how to fish. That adage, teach a man how to fish. The Black community is looking as if we're fishing at this point. I'm very, 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 very proud of my people after this Black Friday, and after me and a lot of people in our community believe the country gave us their butts to kiss. The fact that the number one Google thing since the election is how do I change my vote?
Yeah.
FOFO. 4-5. That's what it is. 4-5. That's what they, shout out to people in the community that stayed their booties out of Walmart this week. Target, y'all might be equally as racist, but at least y'all had enough sense to not say
fighting over a Samsung big screen TV. Like you ain't ever had a TV in your life, man. Get out of them stores.
And here's one for the super churches out there, the 10,000 people churches. This is what y'all do. Y'all pastors are millionaires. Pastor, wait till January 1st. Contact Vizio, contact Samsung, say, can I have all of y'all 2023, 2024 TVs? They'll give them to you for real cheap. You can sell them to the congregation for the church.
Yeah, or you can give it to them. How about that?
You can give it to them.
Donations.
Donation. Watch that. You buy them TVs, you have your people come there, you just funded the building fund and the after school program at the church. Church on the move. Ain't it, man?
All right, and come on up tomorrow is the debut of a new show on BS3 Network. It's called Total Football Talk. They'll be coming on at 8:30 tomorrow. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. It's hosted by Cole Johnson and Drew Willingham. So tune into that. They talk all things football, NFL, CFL. They'll be talking about spring football as well. So make sure to tune into that tomorrow. Debuting at 8:30 Central. And we'll catch you guys next week. Go ahead and close this out, A-Trap.
Y'all already know, man. Yesterday was the first of the day before yesterday was the first of the month. So if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from me. Go. With no baby oil, though. No baby oil.
Right. No swallow either.
No.